Hey Tash, how are you? We're going to do a little recap of the week. We're going to talk about the book that I recommended called She Comes First. We'll talk about body language tips, talk about friends with benefits, uh, and why dating an older woman is awesome. My eyes are gorgeous. Thank you, Mikey. Hi, Chad. And I'll also be open to any questions that you guys have either here on YouTube or on Instagram. That is funny. There's a Chad Ferguson and a Jonah Ferguson. And are you guys related? That is really weird. Okay. Anyway, yeah, so if you have any questions, go ahead. Otherwise, I'll just jump in and talk a little bit about some of the comments that I've gotten about the shows that I did this week. So She Comes First. A lot of you guys were saying that you've read that book. It was very meaningful. And someone had said that the part that they liked the best, let me see if I can get that exact quote, was about how you can't really make somebody come, but you can help her get there. And I like that quote. So hi, Paul and Bryson and Kay Smitty and Stan and 667 Lewis and Mr. Pirate Brain. Hello, hello, hello. So yeah, Friday's going great so far. How are you guys doing? We got a lot of Fergusons in the house. And no one's late. Everybody's on time. Don't worry, it just started. And let's see, where were we? Okay, so if anybody has any other comments about the She Comes First book, a lot of you guys are saying you're already good at it, but bottom line is there's always room to improve. Okay, so you're good. Okay, hi Sosa boy. All right. Everybody's got something going on here. All right, I'm trying to take each comment as it comes. No, Johnny, no showing boobs today. Sorry. Let's see. All right, got a question. Karen, can we talk about women squirting? Oh, thank you, Mr. Pirate Brain, for bringing that up. I've been wanting to talk about squirting for ages. No, I'm just kidding. What is it that you need to talk, that you'd like to talk about as far as squirting? And hi, Zach. Zach, I'm going to talk about squirting in a minute, Mr. Pirate. I'm going to address Zach's question about coming first. You could never make her come first, Zach. Why is that? I mean, if you have some time, is it that she can't come at all, or you just can't get her to come first? What do you think is going on with that? And Tash, you made a girl come first. That's cool. Hi, Tom. Okay. Yeah, I think that it's just a matter of patience when it comes to that. Just take your time. There's no urgency. You don't need to rush through it. You know, the longer that you wait, the better it is anyway. So find out what's going on with that. I don't have enough information here. Maybe they're just young, the girl. Oh, so you can never make any woman come first? You're saying in general? I thought it was one specific person. Yeah, I mean, maybe it is that she doesn't know how to make herself come, and that, or you know, she's just not experienced enough. So I would still don't give up. And you don't have enough experience. So Zach, read the book She Comes First, because it goes into like serious graphic details, homework assignments, and super great book for that kind of thing. If you are at all concerned about, you know, anything about oral sex or anything about sex in general, that's a great book for you. It's written by a very, very bright sexologist. Sam T, can I masturbate looking at you? Okay. Sam, you might be new here, but anybody talks like that is going to be put in timeout. So I'm going to give you a break, but after that, we're moving on. Hi, CKA. A girl I was with said strong fingers and hands make it easier for girls to squirt. Is that true? Okay, so we're going to go on to squirting. I'm not an expert in squirting. Is it a higher form of orgasm for women? No, I don't think it is. I think it's just that the opening to your urethra is very close to the vagina, and if you keep pushing and pressuring it over there, I'm under the impression that it has to do a little bit with urine. I mean, it's just me, but you know, a lot of people have different opinion about squirting. I don't think it's something you need to try to achieve in order to prove your masculinity or anything like that. And if someone can't squirt, it is not, it's not necessarily a sign of sexuality even. It just has to do with, I think, human anatomy and pushing in the right spots and things like that. So I would much more be, if I was you, I'd be more concerned with a clitoral orgasm than anything else, because a clitoral orgasm is equivalent to like a mini penis. A girl I was with said, strong fingers. Okay, we already talked about that. Hi, bonker. Surprise to you too. Okay, does that answer any questions? Zach, you're okay with that? Okay, good. I'm going to go over to Instagram now, answer some of these major questions. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry, Instagram people. I've been ignoring a lot of these comments here. Oh, because, again, with this annoying... again, with the annoying show me your boobs things. Stop with that, okay? I've had enough of it. Bonjour from Montreal. Let's see, what we got going on here? All right. So, yes, so we're anything else that you wanted? You're welcome, Mr. Piper. Anything else that you wanted to talk about with squirting or coming first or any of that? Because I want to go to the next subject, which is body language. Anybody have any new tips that they figured out about body language or things that we found interesting about body language? I think it's the really a very, very, very important thing to learn how to read in general in life, but also, especially if you're trying to pick up a girl, woman, whoever it is, a man. It's really important to see where they're at before approaching them. Check out all the body language tips that I've talked about in the last couple of videos, and you will figure out which ones to approach and which ones to stay away from, and also what to do and how you know if a person's interested in you by their body language. Sam T is asking annoying questions. Do you ever talk about bad hookups? I should, Case Smitty. That is a good suggestion. Bad hookups. What do you have to say about bad hookups? I would love to talk about those. I mean, I'm sure that they could be considered comical at times. Let's see, Paul, you push the contents of a gland into the bladder. I'm now convinced it is not urine, having smelled and tasted. Okay, well, Paul, you probably know more than I do then. All right, let's see. Crazy lady, I am a crazy lady, you're right. Let's see. 90% of women's language is unspoken. That's interesting, Mr. Pirate Brain. True. I think it's pretty much a lot of, that's why it's really, really important to start noticing things, little nuances that have nothing to do with what she's saying, because it could be completely different than what's going on inside. Curtis, I had a one-night stand years ago, and the sex was good. I made this woman cream all over my cock. Okay, good. And you never touched her clit. I made her come so good. She put her clothes on and left me hanging. Oh, God. There's a story. Okay. What is your point about that, Curtis, that you didn't have to touch her clit? Well, I don't know. I think it's a good idea to do it. It'd be like trying to have you have an orgasm without touching your penis. Why don't women tell the truth? Honestly, I'm 45, divorced, and all the women are not what they say. So boy, I'm sure that you are generalizing by saying that all women don't tell the truth. Does that even make sense, that you could say that about all the women in the world? Maybe you're just choosing people that don't tell the truth. So you got to really look at yourself and look who you're choosing and try to figure out what's going on with that. I can't imagine that there aren't enough wonderful women out there that are honest. Yeah, let's try to figure that out a little bit more. Let's see, Stan. Hookups freaking sucks. I got tons of bad hookups stories, Case Mitty. Yeah, well, I think it's the same thing with anything. The more you get to know the person that you're with, the more that it's going to get better, because you know who you're dealing with, and if you're communicating with each other about what you want, it's going to be so much more comfortable. It's going to be much more deep, and both of you guys will be more comfortable in telling each other what you want and what you need, and it's going to be better. Curtis, not touching her clit could be why she left without saying anything, Mr. Piper. Yeah, Curtis, it's funny because a friend of mine did a video, a web series called Q's One Night Stand, and the first episode is about how this girl, she had this guy go down on her, and he left her, and she left him hanging. She just literally walked out after, and without doing anything to him. So I think it could go both ways. But I mean, listen, anybody can have an orgasm at any time, but the way you do it, I would say for the majority of the time, should be that you pay attention to her, talk to her, check out her nonverbal and verbal communication during sex, and you will learn a lot about the person that you're with. And obviously, if you know the person, it's going to be way, way better than if it's a hookup, like, a one-night stand. So, Kay Smitty, are you done with one-night stands? And are you just talking about one-night stands? Or are you talking about just people, women in general? It's all about honesty, Curtis. CKA. Yes, it is about honesty. And, unfortunately, there are people in the world that feel, they're so worried about what other people think that they're going to lie to you and they're going to do things that aren't honest. So, maybe don't jump into bed so quickly and get to know the person first and figure out if they're quality people, because, you don't want to end up feeling shitty afterwards. Curtis says, haha, she was embarrassed and no one ever made her come like that before. Well, that's awesome, but I wonder why she wouldn't want to see you again. I mean, just if you were that good or whatever, I would think that she'd want to see you again. Thank you, thank you for your insight. Oh, you guys on Instagram are being very, very nice right now. I've noticed in my experience that lips gives off good signs of body language. The lips, that's interesting. And I read somewhere, I think in the beginning of the book, She Comes First, they're actually talking about that lipstick back in like the Egyptian times. The redder it was, the more it signifies that she, was sexually, a very sexual person. I thought that was pretty cool. Let's go to Sosa Boy. Well, tons of fix-ups, and then when I drown them with kindness and affection, the romance ends right after trying to make love, and then you hear about the baggage. Sosa Boy, I'd be happy to personally coach you on this, because I think you're a good person, and I think we can work on this. So go to my website, it's KarenLeePotter.com, and sign up for personal coaching, or go to my Patreon page, and I can message you back and forth there. And for anybody who doesn't know what my Patreon page is, it's a way that you can join a private group of people that I have, my KarenLee's crew over there, and I will give you special photos and videos, and you're able to text me back and forth, message me back and forth on Patreon. I'll have your email, so no matter what happens with YouTube, you'll always be able to find me, and I will be able to find you. So it's a really good way of both of us connecting. So I would strongly suggest, both on Instagram and on YouTube, that you check out my Patreon. I'm putting the link right here, but it's also in the description box as patreon.com/KarenLeePotter. And check it out. That's still the case about red lipstick, Paul. Yes. Hey, Brendan, how are you? Let's see. I did see her again and never hear the... let's see. I did see her again. Ever hear the phrase, looking for someone in the daytime with a flashlight? Oh, not good? Okay. Tosh, I remember when I was fingering a girl, she was already wet. Okay, so let's talk about that, Tosh. Okay, so what that means is, so a woman is naturally going to lubricate if she gets horny. All right, so it's different than a guy, because guys you have to really, manually stimulate I shouldn't say that, because you might get hard just by looking at someone. That's the equivalent of a woman getting hard, so to speak. Actually, her clit could get bigger if she gets if she starts getting stimulated. So, but getting lubricated for a woman is like the same thing as getting hard for a guy. So does that explain things, Tash? Okay, Sosa Boy, do it. Let's see. Crimson is saying something kind of not nice. So Crimson, I'm giving you the one warning. If you say stuff like old poon again, I'm going to put you in timeout. What would you expect? Dumbass friends always hook me up with red flag women. Oh, that's why I don't have anyone anymore. Okay, so Kay Smitty, you two should go to Patreon and we can talk about this. But also, for all you guys that have had like really negative and bad experiences with women, first look at yourself. Try to figure out where you're at and if you're in a good place. And if you're in a really good place and you just keep picking women who are treating you like shit and are not being honest with you and all the things that we've just talked about, think about the women that you're choosing. Maybe you should try to find someone who's not your typical type that you normally go for. Maybe you're just always going for the people that aren't good people because you're attracted to a certain look or the certain attitude that they have. And go for a different look and see if that helps you. Mostly everyone's on Patreon because of YouTube. Yes, CKA, YouTube is, not really gonna help at all with monetization, and that's why people that really care about creators are going to YouTube and supporting their creators there. There's, musicians, artists, and a whole gamut of different people on Patreon now because they want to get help with their funding. Crimson, you fucked a 40-year-old woman. It was okay, nothing special though. Okay, well, thank you for sharing that. Tash, I understand now. I didn't think about that. Oh, good. Yay. If the light bulb went on, good. Let's see. Okay, so Casement, you can identify the people who have red flag girls, but you're not figuring out which ones are the green flag girls. So you got to look at that. Look at the positive. Look for the good people, not just identify the ones that are bad. Oh, Crimson Noir. It takes a very big man to apologize and sorry for being rude, and your apology is accepted, and please come back again and join us and enjoy the conversation. I like that, Crimson Noir. Bryson, the women that treated me like crap weren't even my type. Interesting. And all the ones that you have found that are green flags are married. I highly doubt that. I highly, highly doubt that. I think it's a matter of just, okay, so I have a poster on my wall that says, it's a Buddhist saying, it says, what you think you become. So if you are visualizing yourself in a positive, great relationship, I think you will find somebody that you could be with in that relationship. So just think about that, as Mr. Pirate Brain says. Just think about it. Let's see. This thing is slower on my line. I thought I was faster. My comments are slow. Don't worry about it, Crimson. I can't imagine that everyone is married. Oh, God, Gideon, thank you for that, I guess. But let's be polite. We're being polite today. This is Polite Friday Day. Okay, so we talked about she comes first. We talked about body language tips. Now we're going to talk a little bit about the friends with benefits. What did you guys think about that? Did you agree with me about having friends that you can just be yourself with, their companionship, and that at certain times in your life, friends with benefits works? And do you have any other suggestions about or stories that you could tell me about friends with benefits? Hey, Kazi, glad you're back. Let's see. Okay. I am very pro. Kazi is very pro friends with benefits. Why is that? Mr. Pyropay, thank you for saying I am so cool. Wild Weasel. There is a female YouTuber who says that not wearing a bra makes your tits sag less. Do you find that to be true? With not wearing a bra? No, I think it's the opposite, Wild Weasel. Curtis, why do a lot of women play hard to get and their pussy is soaking wet? Curtis, why do women play games in general? It is very annoying to think that women are playing games. I don't understand it. I can't explain it. All I could say is if a woman is playing games with you, move on to people that don't play games. Okay. Crimson, I like a woman who just is 30 with a little bit of stretch marks about the waist, with a tight physique woman I like to have a fetish for, especially when they're wicked smart. Okay, well, you have a specific type there, Crimson. I hope that goes well for you. Okay, Mr. Peregrine, everybody wants friends with benefits, so why get married? That's a very good question. And I think what we figured out from our last discussion about friends with benefits was that we're kind of thinking about, you like that, and I think the people that want to go further with that are the ones that want to have some sort of like future with the person. So I guess you can have friends with benefits with someone who you know that maybe they are not the person that you want to ride off into the sunset with. Let's see. I never had a friends with benefit, Paul. Oh, you were married for 25 years. Well, that could be why. Let's see. Kazi, because there is no strings attached and you get to have a lot of sex. You're currently with 3 women. Wow. They are all 40 plus and great in bed. There you go. Kazi, you got it made. Everyone's probably jealous of you. Kazi, how are you able to balance all 3 women at once? It's like a juggling act. How are you able to do that? And how old are you? Women do say that not wearing a bra helps develop those muscles that hold up the breasts. I don't know about this. This is something I'll have to investigate, Mr. Pirate Brain. I'm sorry that the stream keeps cutting out for you, Brendan. Let's see. Sosa boy, friends with benefit doesn't work because you just spend money and getting nothing. And if my money could make love to me, I would be so happy because I've got a lot of that. I'm glad to hear you got a lot of money. Go to my Patreon page, sign up, and we'll do some coaching together. Let's see. Case Smitty, you never hear a man say to a woman that they want to be friends. Really? I don't know. That's interesting. Why do you think that is, Case Smitty? Chad said never. Okay. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Crimson Noir. I'm in a friends with benefits with a female, but she has a kid, and I really like her, but the fact is she has a kid and still deals with the dad is an issue. I teach her 7-year-old son PC repairs. Well, it's good that you are there for her, and it is hard dealing with children. And actually, I'm going to do a video about that in the near future. I think that's important. A lot of guys have talked about being in relationships with older women has that aspect to it, and I think it's important to talk about that. Bye, CK. Kazi, I'm 23. Oh, you're 23, and they liked me, and they are okay with me having other women, and I talked to them regarding that arrangement. Super awesome, Kazi, that you're honest. And if you're upfront and honest, you'd be surprised at how many women are okay with just like a friends with benefits, as long as like you guys are remembering to use protection and like good, especially if you've got 3 women going at once, Kazi. Tosh says it's always the woman that they say want to be just friends. So everyone's thinking the women just want to be friends, and the men do not say that. I'm a little confused. Oh, and you also teach yoga. Kazi, exactly. I always tell you guys that if you want to meet women, go where women go. And one of the places that a lot of women go to is a yoga studio. So I could see where you're getting a lot of women attracted to you, especially if you're doing a lot of yoga. I never had a friend with benefits before. My friends are not attractive, I feel. Case Smitty, well, maybe let's talk about that further too. So maybe one of the reasons that you're having difficulties is because you're not attracted to, certain female. But once you get to know people, sometimes that attraction builds. That happened to me on several relationships. At first, I was not attracted to the person, but as I got to know them, they became much more physically attractive to me. Let's see. It's important about women with kids because because some have not cut the relationship with the exes. Yeah, well, it is much more complicated, especially if the kids are young. You got the exes and you've got kids needing to be placed first, especially if it's a single mom. There's a lot of reasons why if you're in a relationship with an older woman and she has kids, that adds a layer of complexity to your relationship. So it's going to be tougher. Let's see. This is not that serious. Believe me, I do better without this bullshit. I do not know what's going on. I'm so sorry about that. Let's see. How can an average Joe hook up with hot, sexy ladies, Captain America? Let's see. How can an average Joe hook up with sexy ladies? This is a tough one. I think that an average Joe needs to let his personality out, and it's a numbers game, and you'll meet up. Put yourself in a position that you're actually there and meeting up with different people from all over. You'll go to the places that women hang out, and I think if you just keep being yourself and go to my website and download the video called How to Catch a Cougar, you're going to find out at that point how you, being the average Joe, I'm assuming it's you that you're talking about, Captain America, can find women of any ages, and eventually somebody is going to, some sexy lady is going to find you attractive. It's all about confidence. 100% of what I'm saying is confidence. If you guys can get your confidence up by fixing everything going inside and outside, when you meet somebody, you're going to be this confident person, and that person is going to be attracted to the inside of you because you're throwing out all the positive energy. Let's see. Oh, I see what's going on here. Kazi, you offer private yoga lessons. Sometimes they request me to do it naked. So what happens after that? Yes, I could take a wild guess. When you're 40 plus and single with a young yoga guy, it's hard to resist. Ha ha ha. Okay, everyone wanting to know, maybe Captain America, why don't you become a yoga instructor? Like Kazi, you will find hot, sexy ladies, even if you're the average Joe. Let's see. Average Joe needs to demonstrate confidence, nice clean teeth, and dress nice. There you go. That was from Paul. Wild Weasel, how do you feel about going Dutch? You pay for your own purchases on a date like dinner. How do I feel about that? I feel like I'm old-fashioned, and I like the first date that the guy pays. This is just my own thing. I think it shows class. I think if you are attracted to someone and you want to make it work, you don't need to go to an expensive place. Go to some place that's in your price range. Pay for her the first date, and then after that, even if you don't pay for her, you just offer to pay for her, and she might say no, especially if she's older. But if it's a person your age, just pay for the first date. After that, then you can negotiate splitting or whatever. And normally people will, in addition to, maybe the next time she might even offer to pay, and at that point you can make a decision. But let's just get that money thing off the table at the beginning, because you want to just get to know the person and you want to seem like you're a classy guy, right? All right, so running out of time. We got 2 minutes left. Anybody have any other urgent questions that need answering? I wish we could talk face to face so I could tell you every bad story I've been through all my life. Okay, Smitty, go on my Patreon. I'd be happy to message you back and forth there. And anybody else, if you haven't liked this video, make sure you thumbs up to the video here on YouTube. I hope to see you next week. I'm going to probably take the weekend off, maybe squeeze in a late night YouTube live here. But if you haven't checked out my videos, they're really, really good and helpful on my website, KarenLeePorter.com. Make sure to like this video, like I said. I love you all. I can have a free yoga class from Kazi. Thank you, Kazi. I appreciate that. Anyway, goodbye to all of you, and I hope to see you next week. And don't forget to leave suggestions and comments and questions right here on YouTube below in the comment section, because I really will answer everyone personally. This is me saying bye. Bye. Have a good one. Thank you.